What's up, fanboys and fangirls? Welcome to another FanTracks coming to you from fanboysanonymous.com. I am Tony Mango. Joining me is Robert DeFelice.
Mama always said, life is like a box of podcasts, 'cause you never know who you're gonna hear.
Oh, you're going to hear us. We're the usuals. It's
There
going to
you
be some
go.
random guy. Hey, oh, that's Chet Anderson. And, it's gonna...
Shut up, Chet.
and Barry the Elephant.
Hey,
What's going on,
Barry.
Barry? We're doing this, as you can tell, this is Forrest Gump. This is kind of out of the middle of nowhere. It's a pick your poison as far as the Patreon and the YouTube membership side of things. This is sponsored by Guest 5. Thank you, Guest 5, for not only sponsoring this, but picking a good movie, too, because this is one of my top best films of all time.
So, this is the first time ever that I'm gonna watch a film with you. Like, we watch a lot of movies.
Right.
So, like, we're about to watch a film. Like,
yeah.
an actually great film.
There's a big difference from, like, Mortal Kombat,
Yeah.
or like, Superman animated thing or something, or Scooby-Doo, or a pro wrestling event or something, than something that's more critically acclaimed Best Picture thing.
Yeah.
But that's even something that's fun about it too, is because it's we're not going to be like joking around the same way. It's going to be more analysis and jokes, of course, too, because this movie lends itself to some jokes. But I'm excited about that. I'm excited to get into it. I'm excited to watch it again because I've seen this movie about a dozen times, and pretty much every time that I watch it, I like it better.
Does it get, like, is it one of those things that you understand more as you get older, kind of thing?
Yeah, and you appreciate some of the intricacies of it, and yeah, when I first watched this, I was young, because this came out, July 1994, so this is around the same time as Lion King and everything, and of course I'm more into Lion King at the time, because little kid's gonna, not gonna take much out of Forrest Gump, but I think it's a fantastic, fantastic movie, and it's what we're gonna be doing here. It's a normal FanTracks. We can't give you the movie, we can't even give you the DVD or anything like that, because we don't know who you are, but we're going to be watching this, and we want you to watch it along with us. So we are going to, those are how words work, going to give you the countdown that we normally do of 3, 2, 1, play. And when I say play, I'm going to hit the play button, and you should do the same, because if you hit the stop button, then you're going to be all not synced up. So hit play when we say play, get everything situated, park yourselves in your chair or your bed or whatever you're listening to this on, and watch a damn good movie, because that's what we're going to do here in 3, 2, 1, play. Paramount stuff on the screen right now.
I just want to say, Tony, this is so much easier. Thank you.
We are running a dual setup thing on Plex. So. I'm going to bump up my audio, because this is coming out very low for me for some reason. And I love the music in this.
Rob Zemeckis. It's one of those names you hear a lot.
Robin Wright in this. Anytime I see Robin Wright in anything, I think of Jenny. And anytime I see Gary Sinise, I think of Lieutenant Dan. Sally Field, though, I don't typically think Forrest Gump immediately. I just kind of think Sally Field,
Yeah, she's one of those. That's like Tom Hanks. Do you really think of anything?
Right. It's Tom Hanks, And for that matter, like Haley Joel Osment, I don't think of Forrest Gump at first.
I think I mentally, if I had to go to one movie for Hanks, it'd be Castaway, because I just started thinking, well, Fred,
I have made fire. Leave a comment below. Tell us, like, if somebody says Tom Hanks, do you think of, like, Big? Do you think of, I don't know, Turner and Hooch? Like... Such a
this is like one of those, it's a feather, but this is one of those, like, trash bag floating in the wind kind of thing from
American Beauty. Another
Yeah,
one of my top 10 best films of all time. A lot of people don't like this movie because they think that it's too like sappy. I'm like, grow a heart.
I just kept running. You know, like I saw this first in elementary school for some reason. I don't remember what we were doing, but this is a thing that they decided to show us, and I just remember thinking, "Oh, this is kind of silly." Because you're a kid, what the fuck are you gonna take it from
Right.
Forrest Gump?
He's so good in this too. And this is one of those just iconic films that, the line coming up is one of the ones that people, if you haven't seen Forrest Gump, you know that that line is from Forrest Gump, Not the
Right.
line hello, but, and not the line, my name's Forrest Gump, because that's pretty obvious, but the box of chocolate line, I mean, chocolate.
Because you never know what you're gonna get.
See, the trick is buy one of the box of chocolates that it tells you, you know?
And it does tell you, because it was clearly.
The little insert. I love his accent in this. For the role, not like, I wouldn't want to have the accent. Even the way that he's got his legs position is like a great character choice. Now it's like, obviously, here you want to do a plot hole. That's not his first pair of shoes. Come on. He's too old to not have had a pair of shoes. But still,
Well, you don't know where he lives.
Greenbow, Alabama. I know where he lives.
Oi. Oh.
Bitch.
He's telling this story to a black woman.
Right.
Oi.
Background song is also in Shawshank.
Technological advancements are amazing.
Yeah. Not only the braces themselves, but even just the drainage gate. God, I can't imagine walking all those places.
This is this is similar to Big Fish in a way, right?
There's some similarities, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so. Lady.
I've been, trying to look at houses and everything. Can't imagine how much this house would cost in this market. Different. Of course, his name's Hancock.
He acts like a cock. No, he's a little lower than that.
Just fine. The kid does a great job too. That fucking creep. Like for real, dude. Like, it's like
I thought he was saying 80 there for a second.
I thought this was weird.
No.
I thought that was such a weird choice.
Makes the kid look worse than it does.
hmm Forget, did they address what happened to his dad?
And you don't come back.
Like, I want to make sure you have a great education. The very first lesson you're going to learn after this is a total lie.
That-
In all sorts of cases.
this movie is like one of our conversations. It started with shoes.
Yeah, this is he's doing a dark cast where it's like, let's talk about this for a little bit. And then an hour and a half later, it's like, we're rebooking stuff. This is Kurt Russell, if I remember correctly.
Russell playing Ellis.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Kurt Russell. I have to look that up to be sure. I think he does like the voice for it or something. Let me just double check. Forrest Gump trivia. So it's Peter Dobson plays young Elvis Presley, but I thought I had seen something about Russell doing something on this. Maybe he does just the voice.
Oh my god. You don't know that guy was in your house, lady.
Yeah. So while I'm looking up this trivia on here, it says Tom Hanks wasn't paid for the film. He took percentage points instead.
Oh, sweet.
Worked out for him. He got around 40 million. This is one of those moments where the kid's like, you can't not like Forrest.
Ah.
Like, ah, what a nice little kid. You know, like, I'll introduce myself. You introduce yourself. Well, we're not strangers. We can be friends. You know,
That's kind of how it works.
Tyken.
Taken.
Sights Tyken. Well, it wasn't shoes. If you want.
Oh. Real quick story. So my nephew is turning 8 on Thursday, and he's got his first little crush. And I guess they both take speech classes. And the girl was going on about her pets. And he turns to his mom and goes, I don't know what she said, but I like her.
That's a great quote too. Stupid is the stupid does. Little kids are a fucking riot.
It's great. Like,
That line about peas and carrots, I literally cannot see peas and carrots without thinking of this movie. I'm not a fan of eating peas and carrots together, like just, kind of like that. But if anybody's like, oh, I made some peas and carrots, I'm just like, peas and carrots. It's the origin
the
of
fact that
Batman.
the kid could do that, if you just
Yeah, just
think
hook them in
about it for
there.
a second, is pretty fucking crazy. We need more Jennies.
Well, we need more Jenny before she got the way that she turned out to be in some ways.
Yeah.
Everybody always makes fun of the scene, but it's like it is kind of funny, like the way that it's delivered and everything. Like, I understand why people turned that into something that would just be like "run, Forrest, run" all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I've got a Run DMC parody shirt up on TeePublic that says "Run, Forrest, run." So
They shoot it kind of weird when.
yeah, the slow motion's very dramatic, melodramatic. You ever seen the movie Mafia?
Yeah, yeah,
When they
I know
make fun
how.
of this and it's like a sink falls and everything. In a different movie, this is the end of the movie.
Yeah, I agree with that statement. Hmm.
She does not care. I was running. I always love that line. Over the years, more and more of these lines, like I just said about like the peas and carrots and the I was running, just like come into my like just regular lexicon. Like
No, I can't imagine that.
I had said you're my girl to Caroline one time, and I was like, oh my god, I'm Forrest Gump. You're my girl.
Mm. He did all that with a cut in his head.
Yeah, true. Yeah, practically a concussion, most likely. Got hit with rocks 3 times. Boom. Today's housing market, you look at this house and it's like 250K. Obviously, this is a whole storyline that you just do not connect with when you're a little kid, you know?
Yeah, like they're basically just saying the father is raping the children.
Yeah. Wherever. it's,
Yeah.
it's like the implication being that this dude for like 10 years every day just like we're gonna throw
No,
rocks in forests kind of thing. Like nothing's changed over the course of like 10 years.
how are you still doing this exact bit?
Right.
Like,
They're just like, well, it's 2 o'clock. We're gonna chuck rocks in forests.
and Jenny's gonna shout run instead of doing anything else.
Right. One of the things under the trivia for this that I had never noticed, it says that every transition of his age, the first scene, he wears a blue plaid shirt.
Huh.
Never noticed that. Got to try to pepper in some of this trivia things that I'm reading throughout here, but one of them says, "My name is Forrest Gump. People call me Forrest Gump." That line was ad libbed. It wasn't in the script.
That's really good, actually. Oh my god.
Local idiot. Different time.
Yeah, clearly there wasn't that many people around. If you just had the one local.
Right, yeah.
Run, you stupid son of a bitch.
Apparently, Jenny's birthday is July 16th, 1945, which was the same day as the Trinity test, the very first atomic bomb detonation. I wonder if there's some kind of connection between that. Sure, camera, no. Wow, this thing says Joe Pesci was considered for Lieutenant Dan. Cannot imagine that.
Yugoslavia. Jesus.
Oh, cool little thing on the trivia about the football thing. Forrest's college football uniform is always spotless due to the fact that he's so fast nobody can catch him. This is the first of one of the many things that they do in this movie where they insert him digitally in there, which was insane in 1994 because it looks real.
It looks
Yeah,
pretty good.
one of the many reasons why this movie deserves to get Best Picture. She wasn't even talking. She's like, who's Jenny? I wasn't here for the first part of this story. We've all met a Jenny before at some point, if not multiple Jennies,
Yeah,
which is
I would.
an unfortunate thing to say, you know?
Yeah. Oh
I
god.
was running.
Because you said he was hurting you. You know he doesn't know any better.
Right, yeah. Did she get nominated for this?
She should have.
Yeah, she should have. Because I mean, like the part's very, you know, there's lots of grays and everything in the air in the part, and she does a fucking fantastic job at it.
I like that though.
but another kind of you.
No, like the well, aren't I gonna be me?
Yeah. Is this peak Robin Wright, you think?
I would say so. I'm surprised he hasn't been with you.
Right.
Like I'm genuinely surprised that you didn't do this in high school.
He's got such a perfect reaction to this kind of thing too. That like, if he would have played this another way, it would be funny instead of genuine.
Again, how have you not?
Dizzy.
Just you had to think about
Yeah.
it.
Well, there was this one time, James.
Oh my god.
I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, look at that. No, no marks or anything.
Yeah.
Good attention to detail. Paramount News, of course.
In the exact opposite of No Holds Barred, we've only gotten through a half an hour and a lot has happened.
Right, yeah. Not a Dr. Pepper guy. Well, I don't like any soda, so.
I don't like Dr. Pepper. I love the Kennedy voice.
Yeah.
Kennedy and Reagan are great just because like they're easy to mimic.
Nixon. It's another one. Deleted scene. They show that it was Gump. And they do a good job with Sally Field's makeup in this too.
I can't hear this song without thinking
Macho.
Savage. It's terrible. Like it.
I think Graduation more than Macho Man though.
Again.
Tigan. This movie's so good. The blue plaid shirt. You know what? I'm surprised that they didn't do.
What?
If it would have been, if this movie would have came out, a few years afterward, they would have done the Bubba story, where like it leads all the way up to the point where they meet, and then they, tell that kind of
Yeah, it would have
opposite
been like
thing.
a straight to video. Maybe not even.
Because it's like, I mean, he's been working on a fishing boat his whole life and all this other kind of stuff, and like, there could be a story there.
Bubblegum shrimp. Great.
And Times Square.
Just well, the chain itself is good.
I've only eaten there once. Got all the trivia questions right.
Where did I tell you that you didn't eat it? Was it Juniors?
Haven't had juniors now.
Have Juniors done.
You ever see Full
Got
Metal
it. No.
Jacket?
Yes.
Totally different movie with Gerald Sargent.
I heard a lot of Hanks in that one.
Yeah, less of the
Less of the character, more just Hanks.
goddamn.
I wanna say this as kindly as possible. Is this movie saying that slow people are good for the army?
Nah, it's just that he's like an idiot savant. That phrase,
Because I don't get like a Rain Man vibe
right?
from him. I think this is a knock on the army. Not that I'm like gonna defend the army, but like just very weird.
This is one of my favorite parts. Like this dude's been saying this for like a week. Oh, that's it. You can't do anything else with shrimp. Shrimp
I'm
and potato.
still genuinely surprised that he and Jenny never did a thing.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's Jenny.
Photos.
Photos. I want to go to Memphis.
I want to be the king of Memphis, Tennessee. I want to knock Lawler out. What's the thing that Homer says? Like 3 or something?
Three.
That's a rhetorical. Dad, do you know what rhetorical is? Do I know what rhetorical means?
Was this her dream?
Well, she never turned into a bird, so yeah, that backup dreams.
Uh, they li- I'm confused.
About what? What was it that you were confused about?
That why is she like, I'm singing a song. Do you know where you work?
Right. Well, let's try to keep whatever little bit of dignity she's got, you know?
I know, but it seemed like her whole thing was, I really don't want to do this. I just want to sing the songs. But it's like they're they're kind of, you know what I mean? Like, look where you are, kind of thing.
Yeah. You ain't got no wings, Jenny.
He's so good in this movie.
Yeah.
Like,
They both are though. Like she plays it so well where you're like people make the arguments of like, ah, Jenny's such a bitch, and it's like she's not. She's damaged. Like this is the type of movie too that when you see people that remind you of these types of characters, you go, man, I wish that things work out like movies do sometimes. You know?
yeah. I really root for him, even though we've all seen Forrest Gump. But like,
Right. Sally Field's a thumbs up.
I agree.
How's she not in more movies?
One of those that had their moment in the sun.
I thought she was a great Aunt May. And for a little while, I was like, "Oh wow, there's an Aunt May that's like attractive. That's kind of weird." And Marissa Tomei comes along, and I'm like, "Okay, now we just upgrade to hot Aunt May. All right,
Yeah, now
is the next Aunt May gonna be like,
it's changed so much.
like we're gonna go from Rosemary Harris to Sally Field to Marissa Tomei, and then the next one's like, uh, Kate Beckinsale or something, where it's just like, all right,
You know what I mean? I know for sure.
music in this movie is so good too. Like the choices that they've made are perfect. Kind of makes it seem like Vietnam's not that bad when you
Yeah,
got
like they're
people
having a
just
good time.
like that food probably smells great.
Meanwhile, this war caused an innumerable amount of
PTSD, yeah.
PTSD. Yeah,
Just God knows how many lives were lost.
that ain't Joe Pesci.
Yeah, God, I cannot imagine Joe Pesci playing this part. Pesci is fantastic, but mean, you can't just put anybody on anything.
No, we're not relations.
You know who I always thought Gary Sinise would have been a good character of?
Oh,
Harvey Dent.
yeah, I see it.
I forgot about that. No, not a lot to live up to. One of these things says, I'll say it after. Stupid is as stupid does. It says that they originally had a part in the script where Jenny was going to kill her father. She was going to release a tractor handbrake so that it ran him down in the cornfield.
I would have been okay with it.
But it says that they got rid of it because they thought that nobody would be able to forgive Jenny for just like flat out killing her dad.
Bro, he was.
Yeah.
Well, it's a different time, so we're like, oh yeah, right, kill him.
I mean, nowadays you do that scene, people
Yeah,
jump up and cheer because they go, they connect more bit with the whole idea.
great soundtrack. How old were you when 9/11 happened?
Uh, is it like 14?
Okay, so you weren't old enough to like directly worry about a draft if there
Uh,
was to be one.
enough that I was like, well, if we were still having this, like, but I mean, we had military recruiters talking to us about that stuff, just being like, so any chance you wanna do this? It's like, yeah,
Yeah, you
no.
have no disrespect to kids who join the army, but you have way too much direction for me to ever see you just being like, ah, fuck it, I'll join the army. Eh.
There's like a million, and I've got asthma and everything too, so I like the idea of Cleveland was from Detroit. I don't remember where Tex came. God, this movie's so fucking good.
So,
Gopher.
mm,
Wonder if that's true about Vietnam.
I like Sideways Brain. As long as you're not in it.
Yeah, if it's like a torrential downpour and you can kind of stay off to the side in like a sunroom or something like that, it's fucking great. but you're not in relation.
Oh, jeez.
Apparently, Tupac auditioned to play Bubba. I mean, shrimp is good. Yeah.
I love the music.
Here's another bit of the trivia I just found that's funny. Dr. Pepper scene was shot a total of 7 times. Each time, Tom Hanks gave forth a louder to loudest and unusually loud burps. To which Robert Zemeckis comments to Tom Hanks, and Hanks responds, "Bob, just be glad they aren't coming out the other end." Can't imagine being in this kind of scenario. Like anybody who's able to do that, and you're better than I am.
Can you imagine? Just like watching people blow up.
I get stressed out with fucking time missions on video games.
I
Like,
know.
if I was in like a real war scenario, like, come on, man. Some other people that apparently were in the running for Bubba were Ice Cube, Dave Chappelle, David Allen Greer, and yeah, I did find the note about Kurt Russell did the voice of Elvis.
Chappelle would have been weird.
Yeah, some of the people that turned down Forrest Gump were um, Bill Murray, John Travolta, Chevy Chase, Bill Paxton, and apparently the novel's author always imagined John Goodman. Cannot imagine that.
Maybe a skinnier Goodman.
So I ran him all the way back to Texas. And I love, like, I mean, obviously, if you're listening to this, you should have seen the movie beforehand, and this should be like a second watch or so. We're going to spoil things. I love that, like, this is what gets him his Medal of Honor. It's not that he killed a bunch of people, you know?
Right. And that's this is an honorable thing.
Mm-hmm. This is like, it's fitting in the character, because you can't just decide to just make it to where it's like suddenly he's like, a trick shot, and he, slaughtered a whole village and protected everybody that way. Or something. It's like, nah, it's not into the character. This isn't an action film. But he can run. Something bit me. That like this like the goddamn it Gump, like, whatever. Imagine Joe Pesci doing that.
Yeah.
I say this, God knows how many times throughout this movie, but this movie's so good. Like, it's always in my top five best films. It fluctuates between three, four, and five, but it usually stays number three. Shawshank Godfather than this.
This is so good.
Because even like a bit part like Bubba, he's only in what's 5 scenes, and it's like iconic film character.
When the writing is good, everything else follows.
To use the phrase been saying a lot, good things are good. Like, if I say Vietnam movie, what do you think?
Oh my god, it's the most sad movie ever. The Deer Hunter.
Deer Hunter, I have not seen.
Don't watch it.
That's
Don't-
on my why haven't I seen this
You'll break your heart,
list.
and it's like it's too much. Like it's
I always think Platoon. That's such a fucking. Uh,
I'm like sad for these. That's a uh
a line as simple as "Why'd this happen?" is just like there's so much to it. Oh, I fucking so many times when I'm getting ice cream, I'll just be like, like Caroline ice cream.
the Bata.
I like what he does with it too. And you figure it's 94, and look how they're able to pull that off.
So good. I'm sad. Like,
The music
and
gets you too, right?
yeah, it's like, come on, Jenny. What are you doing, Jen?
Alan Silvestri, and 3 people who had auditioned for Jenny: Jodie Foster, which
I could see it.
I could see why. Nicole Kidman, who was huge around this time,
Would have made the movie bigger.
and Demi Moore.
Would not have made the movie bigger, but I don't know. I think Jodie Foster of those three.
Apparently, every still picture of Forrest in the movie, he has his eyes closed. I'm not good at ping pong.
Yep.
I was halfway decent at Wii tennis, if that counts. If anybody doesn't know, that's a CGI ball. So he's not actually doing that.
Sorry, yes, I do.
Yeah, it's like, man, it's they know what they're fucking doing, you know? A lesser movie makes Lieutenant Dan a villain too. But you can write like essays about some of these characters, like just Lieutenant Dan going through his traumatic experience and how he processes it. Like he'd rather die. He thought that he had this whole greater purpose, and now he's questioning it. Like,
I like that this movie doesn't like there's humor, but it's not like haha, look at this wacky guy who's slow get into
yeah,
misadventures. You know, like it's like no, he's got issues, but he still brings so much to the table and he still gives you so much to respect.
Didn't even say goodbye. It's kind of weird though that Forrest doesn't get sent home before him. You know?
Yeah, he only got shot in the ass.
Yeah. Yeah, like here's like part of the humor, you know?
Right. Jesus loves you more than you. Hey, hey. He just gets swept up in the protest.
Right.
Like,
I am not into the whole the hippie vibe.
I like the music.
Some of the music's good, yeah, but like the
What do you
whole
mean?
like
What do you mean hippie vibe? Don't you mean like right now?
yeah. But like the, flower power man and all that, it's just like
Don't you mean right now? Is there like?
yeah, fuck. So I found out this information. I'm gonna talk about this in a second. Why cheer? Man, fucking damn. Yeah, fuck. He said fuck again.
Fucking damn!
Yeah. Please. I love that. So I've been around this area once. I was just like, not super impressed.
I love the way they did this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he actually says stuff in the script. Got a guess?
Uh, they shoot you in the buttock and you eat shrimp. I don't know.
Sometimes when people go to Vietnam, they go home to their mamas without any legs. Sometimes they don't go home at all. That's a bad thing. That's all I have to say about that.
Oh, that they should have let that in there.
And they're just like, yeah. If one of you would have said fuck, it would have been even better.
That's sweet.
Again, another movie. That's the end of the movie, kind of. You know,
Yeah. You-
totally different Black Panther than the one in Wakanda. You know, I like this character so much. And then when he's just like, I need a fucking rant. No, 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 I'm coming back. Like he's so cool. Dude, like, it's just like I'm gonna keep talking. You know, I'll tell you what though, like, it's not a detail that they talk about a lot. He can throw a fucking punch. You know, every time they show him do that, he's fucking haymakers. You know,
Yeah.
I always like this line too. Yeah, but you're in the friend zone, dude.
No, he's not.
Well, I mean, spoilers, but you know, stands up straighter. You know. Hmm. The music perfect for these. This tool. Sure.
You are a.
We need more Forrest Gumps. Imagine how much better the world would be if we had more Forrest Gumps. Just like genuinely always nice, good people.
Well, you see how well that's working out for you and I. So, Why are you not good to him back?
Right.
Like, come on, Jen.
That's where like, and I see the arguments where people are just like, Jenny's a fucking bitch. Like, what the hell, you know? And it's like, she could be a hell of a lot better of a
No, she's not.
person. Like,
She's not a bitch. She's one of those people that's just attracted to toxicity, and it stems
right.
back from childhood.
Yeah, she in a different scenario is a completely different person, but she had a damaged childhood and it damaged her, so she
It's
struggles with it,
damaged.
and we see how that ends up. But like, it is kind of one of those things where it's frustrating to not be like, just wake the fuck up and like stop being a bitch kind of thing, like. But then again, when you're offset by a guy like a Forrest Gump who's just like the nicest
A
dude, you look
simpleton, but
worse.
also like he's a simpleton, but he's also not like
Hmm.
the stereotype of that. Oh, the boys and girls. That song starts with the words Jeremiah's bullfrog.
Yeah. Bung. Yeah, then how come he doesn't know him? you know? It's one of the flaws about the movies. Like, if he's done all those things, how come people aren't like, oh, yeah, that's Forrest Gump. Everybody knows Forrest Gump.
Maybe because everybody knows Forrest Gump and
What do
they
you
know
mean?
what they're in for. You know, like,
No, I mean, like, the people on the bench aren't saying, like, oh, wait, you're Forrest Gump.
well, that is true. But also, this is where I go back to the big fish stuff. Imagine.
It's like so many people around his life get shot. Wallace, Kennedy, Lennon, obviously Bubba.
Oh,
He's very
th-
Charles Manson looking, isn't he?
that would become the norm, though, Lieutenant Dan.
With that hair and the beard and everything.
He is very Manson. I knew that, like, it's one of those things that even if it's the first time you're watching a movie, like, that's not going to work out well.
About the ramp.
Yeah.
I cannot hear this song and not think about people walking. Every instance I've ever heard this song, it's always in a movie where somebody's like walking around or something. Sex Live Shop, whatever the other things.
Hey, they threw in the I'm walking here.
Yeah, really charming area, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's like Waldo. Whose shoes are those?
Not to get too real, but as a person with a disability, that shit is always like one of the first things people go to.
The whole religion thing?
Oh yeah. Well, if you
Mm.
just believe in God and things will okay, you can yeah, that
Right, yeah.
yeah, that
If you just believe.
don't fucking ruin it for him, Lieutenant Dan.
Can you imagine Forrest Gump getting totally blitz drunk?
That'd be amazing.
He just starts running. It's just like, Captain. Did he kill it? You know that these girls are trouble, you know? We've all seen girls
No.
like this.
No.
Oh, she gave everybody a turkey sandwich, isn't she great?
Well, it depends on the turkey.
Connie.
No, you can't.
No, doesn't work that way. People that like it, I don't know why people think that that's the case. It's like, Happy New Year, my life's gonna get better. It's like, well, did anything change except for the clock? Wonder how many times that Jenny's done this. You got to figure at least 5.
I'm gonna say it's significantly more than 5.
Yep. I mean, given her track record that we see about 5 of them, you got to assume it's at least double, if not triple. Gump remembers about that time in the bed. They both give him a kiss on the cheek, and that
That never happened in home ec.
yeah. Turns out that girl that's Jenny's roommate's right next to him again, and she's just like, "What the hell? What is happening to me?" Come on, together.
I'm still surprised he has not had an experience yet.
Right.
He,
I like that Lieutenant Dan stands up for him, though. That's a real redeeming moment for him. I'm glad that they put that in the script.
yeah, but like that, you didn't figure that out in the hours with him.
Oh, at the girls?
Yeah,
I guess they just figured that he was like a little socially awkward or something. Or they probably just didn't care, because they're floozies.
that's true.
again though, just to repeat the line, this movie's so
So
good. Like
fucking
it,
good.
they
Like,
know to get a position where, like, a minute ago he's making fun of him, like, you're gonna be the Shimpro captain, whatever, like, fuck you, kind of a thing. But they switch over to another scene where he stands up for Forrest and is immediately also taken down a peg. So you go, oh yeah, all right, fuck, Lieutenant Dan's awesome, and then you feel sympathy for him. So in this one scene, they do enough of a job that they completely erase all the negativity that you've had from the previous scenes that you've had of Lieutenant Dan. It's perfect for that. Obviously, there's the connection between Forrest's legs and Lieutenant Dan's legs.
very good.
Gump's blissfully ignorant, and Lieutenant Dan is woefully fatalist. It's nothing. Yeah.
I have a fucking water kid.
Yeah. When was the last time that you had seen this movie?
Been a while. I was at
Closer to like
least in
5 or 10 years.
high school. 10. I was at least in high school.
I think it's been like 3 since I've seen it. If I remember correctly, I just like casually had it on TV one time, and I was just like, yeah, I've seen it a million times, so keep it on the background. Not a bad gig though, right? Play ping pong for a couple years.
Uh,
He steals the ping pong paddle. I forgot about that.
and he's running.
I was running. Even the way he walks.
He nails it.
Yeah. Nobody could have played this part the way that he played it. And like as
Uh,
great as he is in Castaway and in every movie. I mean, Tom Hanks is a treasure, but like as great as he is in every one of those movies, this is the part I think he was completely born to play.
the army's not paying you?
Right. 'So you gotta eat a shrimp dinner. What's your go-to shrimp dinner?
Um, maybe I want to like Alfredo. No, carbonara. It'd be some shrimp carbonara.
That's a good choice. I
Might
usually
go
try to
for it
make
right
like some
now.
kind of like a scampi-ish type of thing or carbonara type of thing. Three Dr. Peppers.
Used.
I like that he's like kind of like, cool, I'm getting away with something, you know, kind of like brand new. I've never gone fishing in my life, let alone shrimping. I've been crabbing once.
I love that. I think fishing is very calming. You like the head on or not?
Nah, not at all. Give
I've eat, I've
me
eat, I've eaten it with the head on.
give me peeled, deveined, everything. Give me like the type of cocktail shrimp that you would just normally get. I don't want to do any of that effort.
Make love. Sit down and This is one of those songs that everybody knows, right?
Yeah, it's hard not to like the song too. Yeah, whatever she's doing is gonna make her happy, right?
In a different world, this is a very lighthearted movie about a boy and a girl who grow up together, and even though he's a little special, she falls in love with him, and they're together.
Yeah. Or you could do an entire movie about Jenny. You know, just like how I said that they could do potentially
They
a
would now,
Gump
wouldn't they? Oh my god.
spinoff with Bubba.
You ever feel like jumping off the ledge when you hear Freebird?
Not when I hear Freebird.
Just in general?
In general, I mean, yeah, there's been some times where I'm like, yeah, there's worse ways, but like, can't say I've ever done something like this though.
Is that enough to save you?
But high heels.
Well, no. Should have just stayed with Forrest, you idiot. Like,
Should have gone back to Greenbow, Alabama.
I love that.
So they're like peas and carrots. Which one's which?
Forrest is carrots because he's better. Peace.
Jenny's peas because they're gritty.
Yeah, like,
She's got some grit on her. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of peas.
This is a GIF that I use all the
Oh,
time.
the fucking, yeah, the wave.
Yeah, the wave GIF is so good. There it is.
Ah. Oh,
And
fuck.
it's
Come on.
America, our kind of place. You got that bumper sticker on there.
In a different world, too, all these characters, like, meet very tragic, like, quickly suicidal endings. Oh my god.
So good. magnanimous word.
A promise is a promise. Better crash than the Titanic.
Better love story than.
Oh, 100%.
The other left.
Who wanted Pesci for this role?
Right. And who chucks a toilet seat in the ocean?
Mellow yellow, huh? I would chuck a toilet seat in the ocean. Hey, we got.
One boot. Or, well, shoe, not boot. I still don't get how they pull off some of the things like the legs.
Um,
I mean, I know I've seen in other movies they've had people wear like green screen leg slips, and then they just like CGI that out. But I'm like, man, I find it annoying as hell to try to like trace something in Photoshop. I can't imagine people
you're
that they have
very
the
good
jobs to
at it,
do that.
though. You're very good at it.
Oh, thank you. I totally disagree, but thank you. It's got some balls on him.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I would love an actual moment like this. Of course, one that is completely controlled in which I know that I will live.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm never gonna volunteer to be in that position, but I know what you mean. One of those just like, come on to
Come
the
on,
universe
come
type
get
things.
me. Like, hmm.
12 Jennies. They're all Jenny.
The wrestling promoter?
That's a hell of a reveal too. Of like, he's a millionaire, you know?
I'm not giving you any money.
It's like he stays like a minute later, gets confirmation of it. She's just sort of like, shit. He's telling the fucking truth.
It's a fucking good movie, man. Like,
Mm. little details mean so much in this movie too. Like just knowing Lieutenant Dan's character at this point, the fact that he doesn't actually thank him. It's just, I never thanked you for saving my life, instead of, hey, I wanted to thank you for, like,
That's beautiful, man.
more shootings. Yeah. Forrest has a phone call.
I use that gif all the time.
The running in that part of the jumping into the boat.
The running.
They never say what cancer she has, right?
I don't think so.
Ugh. And she's so perfect for this type of role too, because she's got that motherly kind of vibe about her, but she's got some spunk to her. So you know that she's not there just to be like, you know, uh, sad sap kind of thing. Last part.
Yes.
I'm fucking paranoid about dying.
Yeah.
This is discussion for another podcast, but yeah, I am like petrified of it.
For all the. Well, never mind.
I went through a couple of minutes of like a metaphysical panic the other day when I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, oh my god, it's right. Like, if you don't, when you die, you just die. That's it. Like, it was just like, I need to put on a YouTube video.
I've been doing that ever since I was like 8.
Right.
When that idea clicked in my head, uh, I love when he says that
Yeah.
because he's just like, I'm not.
Like, that's, I'm done talking about this. Nice little supporting character too, that like she is supportive and everything, and yeah.
That's awesome.
Imagine being able to
Yeah,
be like
like
that.
how much does that worth? I told you just the other day. I've got little crypto investments, and when they pay off, we're all gonna do better.
I could go back in time and invest in like Amazon stock or something. My God. That's like fuck yeah. You
Fuck
know?
yes. A go-zillionaire. I want to be a go-zillionaire.
Yeah, I'll take being a millionaire. Yeah. Shit, I'll take getting 20 grand more a year if I could do that.
And there she is.
Good little like choice of costume that she can be like a ghostly apparition, you know?
Yeah.
You can't do this movie nowadays though, because then like they would have social media and stuff. Like, oh, I was thinking Jenny, so I hit her up on Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just Facebooked her and saw what she was doing.
It does take some of the magic out of life, doesn't it?
Mm, I'm not a fan of mowing the lawn. I don't care if I got a riding lawnmower. Certainly not when I have to fucking push it. But
But you
oh,
want
that
a pretty decent backyard, don't you?
nowhere near like this. But
Obviously, I mean,
yeah, no, I mean it's to mow that lawn. It's a good half hour. Hey, it's peas.
hey, carrots.
Well, his thing says snapper, so he's snap peas.
I hate you, you know.
The score for this movie is another one of those ones where it's just like just background pleasure kind of noise. Because she hadn't really.
I've been thinking about that lately. Like, I wonder if one day I'm just gonna sleep and it's gonna be like, oh shit, a day passed because you
Mm,
haven't slept. Like that.
I thought that was going to happen when I got the second COVID shot for me, and nope. That's one of the best scenes in the movie.
They should have left that scene in where she kills him.
I think it's better that she doesn't because she never gets any closure with that. If she doesn't kill him, if she kills him, then she could at least be like, "Oh, you know, I killed that bastard." But like a scene like this means more because then it's just like, you know, fucking reliving your own hell kind of thing. I've used the next Gump line out of context for the movie quite a bit. I think it's the next Gump line. Yeah. Because that's a good line. If anybody knows the part of the movie, if you say sometimes there's just not enough rocks, then it's like, yeah. It's kind of like, you know, How I Met Your Mother fans just being like, you know, what if I don't think of the books? Or where are you going to park your car? It's going to be Carolina me out or what?
Okay, movie's over.
Yeah, it very well could be another one of those, just sort of like, and they lived happily ever after the end. So, what do you think of the movie, kind of thing? You know?
This is the antithesis of the other one we just watched, where it was like, I sat here for an hour and a half the other day and nothing happened.
Yeah. Or going back to the Review to a Kill series, it's like Bond drives off with Tracy. Where's Blofeld popping up in this Gump movie? This is not how I proposed.
Probably how I proposed. I do, that's why I just said it.
Right. He's like, well, I just fucking asked you, Jenny. So another poignant moment.
Boom.
And that's like, yeah, he's right, Jenny. Like,
You jerk.
this dude's been there for you every step of your lives because you offered him a spot to sit down. Like, that's all he's ever needed. kind of, you
Was a
know?
spot to sit down.
Yep. At least she comes to terms with it to a certain
Sit
extent.
sit down with him, Jenny.
He's like, this reminds me of home ec.
I like
that
that he's like the progression, like
yeah,
he's
like
into
that
it.
he's got some confidence to him now because I mean he's been more
He-
traveled and everything, and of course she skips out.
Yeah, you are. You jerk.
Always running.
He just wanted a place to sit. Hey! He just wanted a place to sit.
And that's like one of those moments where you just go like, "Damn it, Jenny! Like,
Come
come
on.
on!"
Ah.
It's a little bell thing. It's a, I guess, old school bell for when they were doing the hotel thing.
Probably
Ring
like,
up to somebody and ask for like
yeah,
room service kind of thing. Weird that it's shaped like a butter container. Unless you're just always asking for butter. It's the old butter bell.
I would.
I think butter's great.
Butter's so good.
You know what happens when you ring that bell?
Things get better.
Sally Field comes and she butters you up a little bit.
Oh, we better.
Another gif. Still, you would think like he's got to be the most popular person in this whole entire town.
Like how is he just running around?
and people aren't just like, there goes Gump, the
There goes a
millionaire who's read the
millionaire.
president 6 times and like Congressional Medal of Honor, owned this corporation, stock in Apple, media celebrity with ping pong. Then he reaches a different part of this across the water and he meets a volleyball.
Well,
Spoilers for Castaway. That part was the saddest part of that movie. I was like, oh, fucking Wilson, come on. No. Yeah.
yeah. Like,
You listening? It's like, I just told you
I
that
love
just ran.
I love this movie.
Mm-hmm. Every time I watch it, it gets better. Well, the movie stays the same, but my reflection of it gets, I like it more. Beautiful water there.
As you get older, it's just one of those things, you know?
You appreciate the music more. You appreciate the relationships more. You
You
reflect more
sympathize and
on.
you get angry with characters differently, you sympathize with them differently.
You realize like the journey of somebody going through different things in their life, and you go, "Oh, now a couple of years have gone by, and I've gone through this and this and this and this." And
He's not a gardener, he's a millionaire. I
I'm just running. Oh, I just felt like running.
yeah, on the way.
I couldn't do it.
You can
I'm
come at
running around a whole lot.
you can come on the Yeah.
So here's one of the flaws with the movie. Yellow, by the way, my least favorite color. So I get it.
Yellow's not great.
Orange is my second least favorite. So first thing, I hate how he licks his lips there because it's like you've got mud all over. But and I didn't know this until I just read the trivia thing when I was reading it earlier on here. There's a smiley face on Jenny's desk or something in her college room.
Well, yeah.
So it's like, yep, he couldn't have invented this smiley face thing,
Yeah, but we watched the James Bond films, so
yeah,
continuity.
yeah, it's one of those flaws. Imagine that you're just like following this dude, and he just stops. It's like, all right, is this 2012?
there's a passage in the Bible about the.
Right, yeah.
You ever had that feeling, Tony?
Is it a day of the week?
Yes, it is.
Does the day of the week end in Y?
Go home.
Yeah. Good job. I would think if I'm in that pack of people, which I never would be, but if I were in that pack of people, I'd be like, I guess I'm gonna start running, and you're gonna all follow me. You know. And you're a fucking runner, so probably her best hair style in this.
You live in a mansion, Forrest.
Right, yeah, you're a fucking millionaire, man. I always like this part. Right, so
Why did you leave?
right.
Like,
Worcestershire. The bulging eyes, just like, what? She's got a kid?
oh,
Apparently, he was cast in the film after they had noticed him in a Pizza Hut commercial. Such a great moment coming up. Not that moment. This is played so perfectly. That, oh shit, realization, and then a series of emotions: fear, anxiety, intimidation, all that.
I have money. Like,
Right.
I would have raised him, but you left. Oh,
God, he's so fucking good. That's such a heartbreaking line too. And obviously, this is it's a script. It's not real life kind of documentary or something like that. But it's like that's a line you show to somebody to get them to understand the idea of like people with like autism or Asperger's or something like that. It's like it, they're fucking people. Come on, like it's like
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And
People
it's
got to
like,
stop treating things like
do you understand how much better I find this story to be because it's not real? Like, because it's like somebody didn't go through this, but like you can still resonate with
right.
everything here. Ah, again.
It's like I did fucking ask you like 5 years ago, something. Totally not how my wedding's planning on going. Caroline refuses to let me even see uh like the color of her dress.
I just had this realization that you're 100% right. You can't see this. You can't do this film today. Look at all of the things that these people went through and the journeys that they take to get back to each other. Where, as you said, now you just tweet.
Right. Like he would be caught up with Lieutenant Dan and magically.
That's
You old dog, you. Great little look of acknowledgement of like we got to this
there.
point. And he's a millionaire, and this is a simple wedding. He doesn't go lavish and stuff because he doesn't fucking need it. You know?
Because all he needed was his Jenny.
Uh huh. Lieutenant Dan doesn't have a place to sit though. It's a different story.
Which is great because can actually stand.
Yeah. Like grilled cheese? No. Or slices.
Would you like grilled cheese, Jenny?
Yeah, for some reason my brain read that as grilled cheese, and I guess that means that I want grilled cheese right now. Instead, he's pulling an Ant Man. Does anybody have any orange slices? This was a part that I didn't appreciate until maybe like the third time that I had seen this movie. This montage. If you think about it, like all they're showing you is just serene kind of parts, but it's like if you think about the moments that he's passed by, that well, I met the president, I did this, whatever, like that. A lot of it was this.
Yeah.
Because the dude ran for like God knows how long. It rained for what he said 4 months.
Damn. Like, ah. You could have done all of that.
And then that just hits you in the gut. And you're just like, fuck.
Oh.
Curious George. No, this one they didn't CGI. That's a good little moment too, just like that, to go like, if anybody's wondering, oh, is it actually his kid? You know? Ugh.
Oh.
Heartstrings, just pluck, 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 you know?
As I said, we watched a lot of movies. We haven't watched a lot of films.
This is one of the movies that I watch usually every couple of years because it's one of those like recalibrate your perspective on things kind of movies. This, K-Pax, Stranger Than Fiction, 2001: A Space Odyssey. Like, you can't walk out of this movie and not feel like something, Like, everybody that I know that doesn't like Forrest Gump is such a bitter, angry person. They're always just like, oh, stupid Gump movie, run, Forrest, run. It's like, do you have like a soul?
But maybe they haven't actually seen it and absorbed it. Maybe they've just seen the parts where it's, hey, they're making fun of him.
Maybe, because like you watch a scene like that and then you see the birds and it's like, oh, she's, as a kid, like, God, please make me a bird to fly away. And Ah, the feather. Different type of backpack than I would have had. Still her too. Now you're not strangers. Dorothy Harris, she aged pretty well though for 40 years going by almost. you know,
Yeah, just one of
you
those
figure
lucky ones.
she had to be like 20s or 30 at that point, so she's got to be 60 something.
And there's the feather. Man,
we for context, we're recording this on June 8th. I don't know when I'm going to be uploading this. We planned on doing Skyfall.
which is a masterpiece in its own right.
It's got its moments where
But
but it's different. Hits differently than a movie
it
like a
hits
Forrest Gump.
differently. I mean, I've never found myself to relate to James Bond in any way. I wanted to.
Well, he makes the puns, so I get that. Yeah, but watching a movie like a Forrest Gump, though, it always sticks with you because it's just so fucking good. And there you go. Now it's black screen. Now you're gonna get the da 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 da.
I hope you all enjoyed this. I I feel very emotional at the moment. I don't know how
Feeling a little
you all
verklempt.
feel. Yeah, oh.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Ah,
It's one of those movies that is
that
just.
was good.
It had so many. 1994 is an amazing year for movies. I'm gonna
So
bring up the list because I know some of them off the top of my head, but I know that like that year is one of the ones that I've talked about before, where it's like 5 movies could have won Best Picture.
so here's the thing.
Ding.
You thing you don't like we've been saying, obviously some of the stuff is fabricated, like the presidents and all that. But I think what captivates me right now is like, wow, there was a time in life where everything that happened here is totally conceivable. It is entirely plausible that Jenny went through everything she went through.
And that she got AIDS and you know between sleeping around and having the
Sharing needles.
yeah.
It's entirely plausible that Forrest, this you know, sweethearted but simple-minded boy, had a mother who, was gonna pull some strings to get him into school because she wanted him to have the best possible life, and that he would have met Jenny and would have been bullied every day and would have been off into the war. Obviously, like, I don't know, maybe they would even let him play football at Alabama, but it's like everything that's happened here is so genuine. And I don't think you can do a movie like that now, which is making me the most sad. Because it's like these kinds of human stories don't happen now because everything is broadcast and everybody knows everybody.
And everything would be cynical because people would be like, "This is too sappy right now." Everybody wants to be critical of everything more, and
Whereas if you look at it, Forrest, yes, he has, a mental deficiency, but he's got a good life because he had a good heart, and sometimes in life that's all you need. He did really well in the army because he's able to handle tasks quickly. I love everything about it. And it's Like I could go on for a bit, but damn it, this was so good. And I was really like, oh, we're gonna watch Terminator, we're gonna watch Batman, or we're gonna watch, something that we normally watch here. And this just feels like a cleansing.
Hmm. It's a cleansing movie. Like I said, it's one of the ones that I watch every couple of years just to kind of recalibrate my sense of self. K-Pax is another. Stranger Than Fiction is another. To a lesser extent, is 2001. That one's harder to get through, of course, and that's only when you're in the mood to be like, the universe is so big, and oh my god, that kind of thing. But like,
When are we watching the Truman Show?
German Show could be on the list. I've only watched it once.
That's that movie is real good. Oh my God. Great film. Haven't seen it in far too long.
And there's a reason why Gump is usually my number three, what I consider the best film of all time. The only ones being above it, Shawshank and Godfather, because
And Tom Hanks, man, some of these people don't understand. Like, there are some actors that are just at the top of the fucking list. And
right,
Tom Hanks is one of them, dude. Everything he's done, like, he's a guy you put in movies because you want them to sell. And it's because of masterful performances like this. And I'm the guy who usually says, it was good. Like this movie, there's so much you can talk about with this movie. I would like to see a movie from Jenny's perspective. Maybe made not today because I don't want it to be too cynical. Like I don't want to see Jenny try to commit suicide several times. But I want to see that movie.
it probably would work better as a book. Just because that way, obviously, they can't like film that and have the same people play the same parts. They're too old for that. With a
Oh,
book, though, you fill in the stuff yourself and whatever. But like,
what a beautiful film.
yep, it ranks higher to me than some other movies that I think are damn near perfect as well. Like Pulp Fiction's on my top 10. American Beauty is in the top 5 or 10 at the very least. Fight Club is like a masterpiece.
I love Fight Club. Another like really just if you want to sit around and think, like Fight Club's one of those movies.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is up there. But like,
Fuck, man, good things are good.
yeah, that's what it boils down to. Good things are good. Good people are good. Be a good person. Be a Forrest. Even
You
if you
know,
find yourself being a Jenny or a Lieutenant Dan, come back around, you know?
and that's another reason you can't do this film today, because they came back around, and that would be frowned upon today. It'd be like, oh, why didn't you get rid of the character? Like they came back around. Lieutenant Dan lives a happy life when he was a suicidal Vietnam vet. Jenny, who had an awful traumatic experience at the end of her life, like her son will only know the sweetheart mother who worked hard to provide for him. You can come back around, man.
Nowadays, Lieutenant Dan would get canceled.
Like Lieutenant Dan would just be like he'd be the one that everybody related to, but he'd just stay miserable.
Or Gump would be canceled because he endorsed the Chinese ping pong thing. Yeah.
And
He'd
how
be,
do you
he'd be
cancel
doing an
Forrest?
apology like John Cena.
I mean, like there are some fucking parallels between John Cena and Forrest Gump, not the least of which being the hair. Like
There's the deleted
uh,
scene where Forrest Gump pulls out the lightning strike or whatever,
fist.
lightning fist.
Like, be a good person. Oh, what a phenomenal film.
So yeah, thank you to Guest 5 for sponsoring this as part of the Pick Your Poison. If you
Please,
guys want us to watch more movies like this, or you want us to, watch more of some of the sillier stuff, if you're just like, hey, put
or
Dumb
if
and
you want us
Dumber.
to watch,
Like,
Batman Forever.
yeah,
I'm really
like
pushing for Batman Forever.
movies are above else. Like stories, I should say. Stories are the thing that I'm the most passionate about. So whenever It's something that's, if it's great, if it's fun, if it's uh, heart wrenching, if it's thrilling, there's
I, I was trying to explain to Courtney the other day, man. Character development is my favorite thing on planet Earth. And that and pop culture phenomenons, and this movie is both.
thought you were gonna say that and popcorn. Like, well, popcorn
Nah.
is pretty great. Yeah.
Like, great film. They don't make them like this these days, and that's a shame.
This 1994 had Shawshank with it. It had Pulp Fiction, I'm pretty sure. It had The Lion King. And it's movies that, of course, aren't as high up, but like True Lies, The Mask, Dumb and Dumber. Um,
Lots of reasons to spend your money at the movies.
Ace Ventura. So obviously it's not the same caliber, but you know what I mean? It's like a classic in its own right. You got unfortunately the third Naked Gun. You got Major League 2, Mighty Ducks 2. What are some other movies that were around this time? Three Ninjas Kick Back.
Hell yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Return of Jafar, Beverly Hills Cop 3, The Flintstones,
I like
Speed,
the first Flintstones movie.
Little Big League. I mean, this is a fucking year for movies, Like, this past year, of course, nothing came out. But, like, you got a wide... Airheads is a fun movie,
And like there were good movies this past year. They hit different because they were home releases. You know what I mean? Like uh Judas and the Black Messiah and stuff like that doesn't hit the same because you're not going to see it in theaters and you're not getting that big experience.
Clerks came out this year.
Clerks is a 94 film too.
You got a Double Dragon. That was a shit movie. Leon the Professional. There's another guy that, if you talk about actors like Tom Hanks, Gary Oldman. I mean, come on. Those two should be in a movie together. Street Fighter came out in 94 too.
The live action one?
Yeah, the Jean-Claude Van Damme one. That's another movie. Street Fighter and the Super Mario movie. I have to add that to my list. That, like, those have to be FanTracks at some point.
You know what? We should just. I wonder what it is. I'm just gonna put on the Mario movie and we're gonna watch it because you gotta see it.
That's got to be another FanTrack. I've seen it, but I haven't seen it since it came out. So
it's just. Let me tell you something. You need to go back and just live in that movie briefly.
I thought it was fun as all hell as a kid when I saw it, so to go back and revisit that acid trip is gonna be fun because that came out in something around 90 something, 93 probably or so.
93. It's 93.
So like to think that's
how do you not have DeVito? You know what I mean? Like
in another world, DeVito is playing Mario and Joe Pesci is playing Lieutenant Dan. And John Travolta is Forrest Gump and Jodie Foster is Jenny and things are a lot weirder. But yeah, that's it for the film. I'm sure I've kept the timer on here, even though the credits have ended a long time ago, but that doesn't matter. Of course, follow everything on here if you want to see more. Follow on Facebook and Twitter. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. Ring that little notification bell. Hit the join button if you want to be a part of the members only side of things, or go over to the Patreon, patreon.com/fanboysanonymous. Hit the like button as well if you want to help us out a little bit. The like button stuff actually helps quite a bit. So, take a second and hit the like button. It'll help out with the search algorithm and everything. Pass this around with the share button if you got anybody who you think would be interested in checking this out and watching the FanTracks with us. Do all the same stuff for Smart Out Moment if you're into pro wrestling, which I didn't plug during this because it's got literally nothing to do with it. But
yeah, this isn't like, well, who's the heel? Like, we don't do that here. Like, Ah, what a movie. If you like the pro wrestling side of things, please follow what I'm doing over at Fightful and WrestleZone. And of course, Mark Out Moment. Go back in the archives and listen to the 2001 Wrestling Odyssey podcast and the Paul Heyman SmackDown podcast, which I did alongside Callum Wiggins. And yeah, to follow me on Twitter at DudeFelice. I had an interesting discussion on Twitter about the Mount Rushmore of Nicktoons, and it got the juices flowing. And I started thinking, oh boy, do I really need to start producing my own content. So if you like more of that, stay tuned. Maybe that's coming your way.
And obviously follow me at Tony Mango. Follow me at A Mango Tree. And stay tuned to everything else that's happening with the Fanboys Anonymous stuff. We will see you with whatever we see you with next. Again, like I said, I don't know when I'm going to be uploading this, but check
Well,
back at the other stuff.
here's what we have on deck. There will be Batman: The Long Halloween. There is Loki coming out about 7 hours from now.
No,
So
it's tomorrow, isn't it?
they said midnight,
Oh,
unless it's midnight California, which
might be
will be
that. Then 3 in the
still
morning.
less than 12 hours from now. But I swear to God, if it's midnight, we'll be up. So, so they'll check back for that. There's so much coming out because it's been a great year for content.
And whatever that stuff is up, and whatever this is up, click around and stay tuned for whatever happens after that too. Plenty more stuff coming your way. So thank you again for listening to this. Thank you again to Guest 5 for sponsoring this. We will see you next time. But for now, it's time for us to geek out.